Hello student, we are studying our MSc second physics third semester course, that is physics of semiconductor devices, and in that we have started our fourth module, that is a metal and metal insulator semiconductor devices, and this module is for 1 credit out of 4 credit. In that we have covered all theory about the metal semiconductor contact, and also we have covered about the that is Schottky diode. Now in this video we have to discuss about the measurement of the Schottky barrier height. In our previous video we have discussed about the derivation for the Schottky barrier height. Now in this video we have to discuss about the measurement of the Schottky barrier height. Now let's start. Basically 4 methods are used to measure the barrier height of a metal semiconductor contact. That means we know that at the metal semiconductor junction there is a formation of the barrier, and this barrier height is measured with the help of different 4 methods. The first method is the current voltage measurement method, second method is the activation energy method, third one is the capacitance voltage method, and fourth one is the photoelectric methods. But out of all those four methods, we have to discuss about only one method, that is the first method, that is the current voltage measurement method of Schottky barrier height. So out of these methods, let us discuss about the current voltage method for the measurement of Schottky barrier height in the metal semiconductor contact. Current voltage measurement. According to current transport diffusion and thermionic emission theory, we can write, that means we have discussed about the diffusion theory of the metal semiconductor contact, and also we have discussed about the thermionic emission, and from that we have derived the expression for the current density in a thermionic emission as well as in a diffusion theory. So from that we can write, in case of forward current, that is a J0 is equal to A double star T square exponential minus Q phi B 0 divided by KT into exponential Q into delta phi plus V divided by KT. This is the expression for the current density, that is a J0. A double star is the constant, T square, T is the temperature, Q phi B 0 is nothing but the barrier height, KT is the thermal energy. So we have discussed about this expression in our previous videos. Now since both A star, A double star and delta phi are weak functions of applied voltage, that means when we apply voltage there is no large effect on del phi and or delta phi and A star, A double star. So in that case, if we consider the applied voltage is 0, then there is no change in the delta phi. So we take the exponential term, that is a delta phi plus V is a 0. So exponential 0 is a 1, and we can rearrange the equation for Q phi 0, that is the expression for the barrier height. From above equation we can obtain Q phi B 0 is given by, that means if we take the ln on both side, then we get ln J0 is equal to ln A double star T square into exponential and ln get cancelled with each other. We left with the minus Q phi V 0 divided by KT, and the second term is a 0 because exponential 0 is a 1. So after that rearrange the equation, and this equation rearrange for the Q phi B 0. So we get the equation for Q phi B 0 is equal to KT by Q ln A double star T square divided by J0. After rearranging you get this equation. So this is the expression for the barrier height in a forward region. Here we consider forward current, that means our diode is in a forward region. For reverse applied voltage depends on a Schottky barrier, lowering it is a given by, that means if we consider the Schottky diode in a forward bias and reverse bias, we discuss about the condition in a forward bias, but what happen in the reverse bias? We know that in a reverse bias the Schottky barrier lowering takes place. So we get the corresponding current density, that is JR is equal to A double star T square exponential minus Q phi V0 minus in square root under square root Q epsilon m divided by 4 pi epsilon s divided by whole kt. That is this is the expression for the current density or current or the reverse current in the reverse bias or in a reverse region, where epsilon m is nothing but we have derived about the electric field at the metal semiconductor junction, and epsilon m is nothing but the electric field at the metal semiconductor junction. So epsilon m is equal to under root 2q nd divided by epsilon s in bracket phi bi minus v minus kt by q, where phi bi is a built-in potential, v is a applied voltage, and minus kt by q is the constant term, kt is the thermal energy, q is the charge, and again nd is the concentration density, that is for the donor concentration density, and epsilon s is again constant, and epsilon m is the electric field which is developed at the metal semiconductor contact. So here we can write the equation for the forward current as well as the reverse current. Now we know that in a reverse region or in a reverse current there is a negative voltage, that is we take suppose in reverse voltage is a VR but which is in a reverse direction, so we can take minus VR. So in the equation of the electric field at the metal semiconductor junction we can replace V by minus VR, so we get the equation that is epsilon m is equal to under root 2q nd divided by epsilon s in bracket phi bi. In our previous equation that is a minus v, but we know that the v is equal to minus vr, then minus minus get plus and we left with the plus vr minus kt by q as it is. So this is the required expression for the electric field at the metal semiconductor junction, but this is in the reverse bias because V is replaced by VR, and since applied voltage is in a reverse direction, so there is a reversal sign of the V or VR. In a Schottky diode, reverse current depends on several factors such as first is the dominant reverse current component is edge leakage current. That means we already discussed there are generally 3 current transport phenomena, 5 current transport phenomena. In addition, we have another consider current transport phenomena, that is the edge leakage current, and the dominant reverse component current component is the edge leakage current, which is caused by the sharp edge around at the periphery of the metal plate. This current is caused due to there is a generation of the sharp edge at the periphery of the metal plate, and due to this we get this edge leakage current. Other factor which affect the reverse current is that if the metal semiconductor interface is free from the intervening layers of the oxide and other contaminants. That means if we consider the intervening layers of the oxide and other contaminants which are not present at the metal semiconductor interface, then we does not get as much as the reverse current, but all these factors are present at the metal semiconductor interface, then we get the reverse current, and this reverse current is not useful for our Schottky diode. So the Schottky diode current is depend on this condition. The electron in the metal have wave functions that penetrate into the semiconductor energy gap. That means we know that there is a energy gap in the semiconductor, and if we consider the electrons in the semiconductor, they have corresponding wave function, and these wave functions penetrating into the energy gap of that particular semiconductor. And we know that when the electrons are penetrating through the energy gap, that means through the barrier, this effect is nothing but the quantum mechanical tunneling. That is, this is a quantum mechanical effect that results in a static dipole layer at the metal semiconductor interface. That means due to the tunneling effect there is a formation of the static dipole layer at the metal semiconductor interface. The dipole layer causes the intrinsic barrier height to vary slightly with the field, and due to this formation of this static dipole layer, there is a change in the barrier height of the barrier height at the metal semiconductor with the applied field. So this is all due to the quantum mechanical tunneling. So the barrier height is not constant. Suppose if we take the derivative, or if we vary the barrier, that is, we can write this in a mathematical form. Q5V0 is nothing but the barrier height, and we know that this barrier height is a vary with respect to field. So here field is a epsilon m, so we take the derivative of barrier height with respect to applied field, or the field which is generated at the metal semiconductor junction, which is a epsilon m. So d phi b0 divided by d epsilon m is a non-zero. That means phi b0 is not constant, or simply we can write delta phi 0 is equal to d phi b0 divided by epsilon d epsilon m into epsilon m. Delta phi v0 is nothing but the intrinsic barrier height arises due to the quantum mechanical effect. So this is the expression for the intrinsic barrier height arises due to the quantum mechanical effect. So the quantum mechanical effect is very important, or which play very important role in a changing in the barrier height with respect to the electric field which is developed at the metal semiconductor junction or at the metal semiconductor interface. So this is the required expression for the barrier height, and we consider this variation of the barrier height with the help of, that is, the method is the current voltage method. That means here we take only two parameters, that is the current and voltage, and according to that we studied about the variation in the barrier height. Similarly, the another parameters like activation energy, capacitance voltage, photoelectric methods are also used for the measurement of the Schottky barrier height, but we are not going in detail. We have discussed about only the current voltage method for the measurement of the barrier height. So in this way we have studied about the barrier height of the Schottky diode by using the method current voltage measurement. So in our next video we will continue with the new topic, that is we have to see the two types of the diode. That is, the first one is the impact diode and the second one is the MIS diode, that is a metal insulator semiconductor diode. So these two diodes are very important. So we will discuss about these diodes, and in our next video we will start with the impact diode, and after that we will discuss about the MIS diode, and after that our chapter is finished. So we will continue with these two types of the diode in our next video.